First thing I want to know is, how are you doing? How are you holding up in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic?
My family and I are doing pretty well. I mean, we're following all the rules the president said, and just common sense. Just common sense. And my gym is closed, so I train at home. And I only run to the stores or some errands if need be. Otherwise, I'm following all the rules, and I don't have no issues with them. I live in Florida. I get plenty of sun, and it feels great, and it's not cramping my style at all. And if it does, oh well. You got to follow the rules and do things right instead of wrong, and then you wind up somewhere else.
Right. You're one of the wrestlers that was always known for having a positive disposition and just in general spreading positivity around wrestling. Did you grow up in a very positive household and environment?
Yeah, I did, Darren. I think it's almost a hinder when you're almost too nice as a pro wrestler. Sometimes they mistake kindness for weakness. As I get older, I don't put up with some of the antics anymore because I'm not under contract or on the road. I find myself disrespected a lot in the wrestling business, probably because I'm a straight edge person, which I really don't care. These people don't pay my bills or they don't pay my personality. They don't pay nothing as far as dues or mentally or physically. And I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. So if they can't accept that, and my talent, and my professionalism, and myself as a human being, oh well. I've heard of some of those people and seen some of those people, Darren, and they're not around anymore. They're 6 foot under. So
right, and you're
not all of them now.
Right.
I mean, accidents do happen. Owen Hart, case in point, should have never happened. I rate Owen Hart as one of the best technical wrestlers alive and one of my favorite opponents. So that should have never happened. It was a mishap. It's person that's gone too fast.
And I believe, if I've done my research correctly, you started wrestling around 1979, and you did sort of a retirement match around 2013 or something like that. So you wrestled just about longer than everybody you started with. Am I correct about that?
You're correct, except one point. One little thing there that I've never heard. I never had a retirement match, ever.
So you were still active and in top form, I take it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. My issues right now, I could wrestle probably right now, but I can't because I'm going to have my knee replaced next year. And anyway, even if I was, unless it was for a top company and I'm making my money that I was making, I'm not going in there for anything less to get injured unless all my medical bills are paid and whatnot, because I don't half-ass it in the ring even at this age. And if I am going to half-ass it, I don't believe I should be in there. I mean, you could get away with it to a point, but I'm not going to be walking and talking and just not doing what a professional wrestler is supposed to do, especially of my caliber. There's just no way. I take it very serious and very personal, and I think that's what's helped me in my career as far as honing my craft, so to speak.
Now, beyond that longevity that I just talked about, is there a career accomplishment that you're most proud of?
I'm proud of where I went in this business on my own, completely on my own. There was no favoritism. I'm not a promoter's son. My brother doesn't wrestle. My father doesn't wrestle. My father doesn't own a company. I'm proud of that. I wish I went further, but that's the politics of the wrestling business. Now, being that said, if I didn't train, Darren, if I didn't wrestle good, if I didn't do all of the checklist that's positive, then you could just say I'm whining and complaining. And, there is some guys in this business that do that, they're allergic to the gym, but their demons catch up with them, neither it be personal recreational drugs or liquor or what have you, and then they're still whining. Well, you need to straighten up. Get out of the left lane, the rock star lane. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm proud of. But my two biggest I'm proud of my match with Skip, Chris Candido, rest in peace, another fantastic athlete. I was really proud of my SummerSlam match, also being captain of my Survivor Series team and doing all the pay-per-views that year. and also my big match over my childhood dream and company to work for, Florida Championship Wrestling, owned by Eddie and Mike Graham, the Grahams, that I defeated Mike in his hometown for the Florida Heavyweight title, which is, back then, the Florida Heavyweight title, if you won that, you were on your way to the world title, and it's up there with the Intercontinental title back in the day. Now, I don't think the Intercontinental title, I don't think it means as much, and there's just too many titles and too many switches and too much.
And going back to those Florida Championship Wrestling days, am I correct that you were trained by Boris Malenko?
Oh, definitely. The best. The best.
And something that you and Boris have in common, both Jewish. Did that ever come up in your early days?
It was just brought up in jest and in intent, a good intent. But yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember. It may have been, like I said, just what I said, just in jest or intent and lightly. Nothing done with hardcore thing like, hey, you're Jewish, I'm Jewish, make a spectacle of it, so to speak. You know what I mean? So we knew we clicked, and there's only two kinds of people in this world: people that are Jewish and people that wish they were Jewish. I thought I'd point that out.
Well, he's not the only Jew in wrestling. Neither were you, Mark Lewin and Bill Goldberg and all that. In general, who was the first wrestler that you noticed was of Jewish descent?
Wow. I really don't remember. Goldberg may be in my first, but then I realized I was just in I was at an MCW show, Maryland Championship Wrestling. They've been around for 20 years. They're a great organization, by the way. Not just saying that. They got their act together. It's really cool. And I met Colt Cabana, a.k.a. a Jewish guy. and also, Nikolai Volkov's half-son or stepson is Jewish. I didn't know that either. And there's a few others, but, let's see, what is his name? He wrestles for All Elite Wrestling, MCF.
MJF, Max Friedman.
MJF, thanks. Max Jacob Friedman. I think I'm getting that right. I don't mean to make a mistake, because I met him once and I was impressed with himself as a person and acknowledging we were both Jewish. So did Colt. And also that they're both great athletes, really good wrestlers, good pro wrestlers. They represent well.
Absolutely agreed on that end. And the reason that I bring up all the Jewish stuff is because the stereotype when you grow up in a together Jewish family is you have to be a lawyer, a teacher, a doctor, etc., or something like that. And you were probably the first wrestler that I realized was Jewish. And when you see somebody who kind of bucks the path that they're supposed to go on, you think, maybe I can do this too. Have you heard a lot of stories over the years of people going, that inspired me, the fact that you're a Jewish wrestler on television?
Yeah, some. There was never anything bad. Now, and even more so when I do these meet and greets across the United States of late, and actually the last few years, especially in the Northeast, I get at least, I'm going to say if I'm there 2 or 3 hours, at least 10 people that are Jewish and thank me and give me props, and they tell me their name, or they'll show me they're wearing a Jewish star or of something of that nature. So they're very proud.
And of course, another thing that's trademark about you is the pat on the back. Is that something that you get stopped all the time, that people do that to you, like, hey, Barry, look what I'm doing?
Yeah, people like that. It's pretty cool gimmick. If you're, having a gimmick, it's really cool. And I liked it as a heel, before my match, after my match, before a great move, after a great move. It was really, it added heat and fuel to the fire as a technical wrestler and a heel. I think it was the cherry on top of the whipped cream.
Good analogy right there. So 2 quick questions, and then you are off to dinner. And the first question is, once this pandemic is all cleared, any idea what's coming up for you? Back to appearances and also continuing on training at the gym?
I'm glad you said that. I was supposed to wrestle at a Jewish organization in Toronto, and that got messed up. That's a different circumstances. But then I did a lot of meet and greets in New York, Boston, and Massachusetts, and that went good. The only thing went bad was the one in Canada got a little bit messed up, and the WrestleCon in Tampa, which is 40 minutes from my house, I was really looking forward to that. That was really messed up. And then, of course, I was inducted into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in July. Now that's off too. So these are not only financially lost, but also I was looking forward to them, and they were big as far as for as getting my name reinvented and out there. And it, I will be back on that track already. I've already got some bookings for October and so forth. And mostly my bookings are meet and greets or seminars, or to teach a seminar on professional and amateur wrestling. Also, I'm a certified nutritionist, so I went to school for that. I wrestled at FSU. It's all on my Wikipedia. I'm sure if you research me, you know all that already.
Yes, sir, but we are going to be enlightening a lot of people as to who Barry Horowitz is, was, and will be. So that all helps. So in closing, man, any last words for the kids?
Yeah, I just, again, not to be cliche, but just, don't be a follower, just be a leader. And you do things like that. You're not a nerd or anything like that. You don't want to do something, stay away from guns and so that nature. I mean, if there's a lot of teenagers that are, I don't know what's going on with them, but then there's a lot that are acting like, I know kids that are 15, at 18, 20, and act 40, which is pretty good. You stay out of trouble, you get into athletics, it builds up a good institution in your mind and your body. And I'm a big, firm believer in that. It builds character, definitely, and accountability. Big fan of that. As far as my Facebook, you'll find a lot of information there about me. I'm all over that Facebook. You could, I'd like people to look at that. And also, I'm also on celebrity.com if people need, hey, Barry, could you say happy birthday to my son or something? I'm doing that now. And also, I'm on ProWrestlingTees.com. I have 4 brand new shirts as we speak. They've been posted in the new arrivals. There's a brand new one that I think that I'm pretty sure it's posted as of yesterday or today. It's phenomenal looking. These shirts are really cool. Only one of them has a Jewish star on it, and that's for people that are into that or that are Jewish or just like me because I'm Jewish, and then the other 3 are in general. So that's for everybody.
I will be ordering one tonight, Barry, and I'll let you know when the article's online.
They really are cool shirts. I'm not just saying that. And what I like is the trademark pat on the back is always on. That is a permanent blueprint on all my shirts on the back of the shirts. Yeah, it's pretty cool, too. So you're getting more bang for your buck, so to speak.
Paltrocast.